active. Autopilot jumping. Moving to Stargate. Warp drive active. Stargate.
These aren't typically going to be the most lucrative. Right now I'm kind of just exploring different high-sec, low-sec island areas, looking for a place to kind of set up shop with a couple different ships. So I'm thinking kind of my grand master plan here is T3 cruiser, a marauder, gotta have a Stormbringer, and then a jackdaw. Maybe even throw an exploration frigate in there for some of these new rifts that they have, which is kind of like a fishing mini game. And the Stratios is kind of key. So when you're running high-sec DEDs, a lot of the sites that you'll scan down drop these Dead Space modules. So the first site that I did dropped 3 small 8-type modules that clock in at about 200 mil. This new right here, this armor repper, you know, some of the best modules for frigates are going to come from these high-sec DED sites. And then of course I run a lot of Abyssals, so you can effectively get a blue loot DED Dead Space module, run a mutaplasma through it, and make something worth billions. Main thing you have to watch out for when you're doing this in the Stormbringer is someone going suspect and then flying into your, you know, kind of your splash zone where your lightning's gonna arc. Because they made it, they fixed it so that you're not gonna hit friendly drones and get caught concorded with the Edencom ships. But if you are on green safety, technically attacking a suspect player is a green safety move. So it will trigger a limited engagement timer with the suspect, and then they could kill you. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're doing this. Basically, just keep an eye on local. If you see someone who's a suspect, turn your gun off. And if someone warps in on your site, they can. I can kill these rats right here. Someone can warp in on the site and then loot one of their wrecks as I'm cycling my guns, suspect up and get hit by the gun. Other than that, it's definitely the best ship for clearing these out. That volley.
Drive active.
Sometimes these sites will have a structure that you can target, which is really great because the gun will just keep cycling. You don't have to waste time targeting the rats. You'll see I also run some sensor boosters just to make this a little bit, instead of more tank. Just get that lock time. It took 40 seconds. Not too bad.
Drive active.
Also, I noticed the emerging conduit, and I I didn't realize those are back in the game. So Highsec exploration definitely seems a little bit like combat exploration. Seems a little bit better. They have these new sites called rifts. They operate with tractor beams. They're not too terrible either. It's about a mil a minute. It's, yeah, nothing too fancy, but some of these structures or asteroids, they don't always let you shoot them with the Edencom ship, but the cargo rigs on the refuges and the drone sites seem to let you target them. Getting a 3.3 mil tick from running green sites is funny. So there's like 3 little Highsec systems in this island here, and I'm thinking what I will do is I'll clean all the combat sites here and net Salaka. Then I head back to Echo to see if there's any more combat sites there. I've already checked out my Hera, so I'll head back to Echo, run any green sites that are there, and then I'll hop in the Stradio, so I'll just scan down everything that's out here. I don't have Jackdaw out here yet, but that is part of the plan. I gotta kill this drone, but he's actually inside the asteroid, which is annoying. So I'm gonna drag him out. This is the spawn that you want on the drone sites, the Sentients. They drop the sentient drone damage amplifiers, drone chips, I believe, and then some other drone industry parts that are worth a good bit of money. I think this could be 100 mil if I can get the right drop, but it's a chance.
Warp drive active.
And then, another pro tip would be anytime you're doing one of these sites that you don't recognize, or even if you just don't remember, Blood Raider Forsaken Hideaway, you just type that in to Google with Eve Uni after it. Eve Uni's the best resource out there for these DED sites. It'll generally tell you which rats are the trigger for the next wave, how to blitz it, what kind of fits to take, that sort of thing. So it's some of these sites, if you're not familiar with them, will have newts, not these green sites necessarily, but it's always worth it. My piece of advice would be just take a quick glance at the combat site on Eve Uni if it's one that you haven't heard before. A lot of people do what I'm doing in a Jackdaw, just kind of fly system to system, clean green sites, farming for actual escalations. I find, I like to have a Jackdaw as part of the toolkit for this activity, but the Stormbringer just cleans up a majority of the green sites so much faster and everything else that I end up using that. Hey Gitch, how's it going? About Stormbringer is rats like this. These are like kind of elite, quote unquote, where their resistances are very high, and then they spread out from one another. So yeah, I mean, he even just outranged my gun there. It's a whole rigmarole. This really slows things down. When am I eating Stormbringer into the Abyss? I think the Stormbringer Abyss is like probably one of the cooler ways I see people do the Abyss. my issue with it, I've never done it. I went in there once with a Stormbringer that was shit fit. It was like my own theory-crafted thing, and lost it. I know the active tank fit that everyone uses is pretty reliable, but there's that combination of death rooms. I am curious about blitzing the low-level tiers in Stormbringer, like T3s, T4s. But even then, the cost of the filaments is so high. Is it now? Okay. I appreciate that. How's it sound now? Because I'm not listening to it myself. I just turned the master volume on the Eve client down substantially. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, I still need to make some tweaks and refine things in terms of the content creating, but for now, I'm just trying to have like a consistent level of throughput. If I can hit 500 subscribers, then I will definitely go back to having a setup that's much more higher quality in terms of audio, actually editing the videos, that sort of thing. Right now, I'm trying to keep everything justifiable. And I put the game music on the other day because I just forgot that it even existed. But yeah, this site is not good for the Stormbringer. Generally, the Forsakens, anything that is has a prefix to the hideaway, generally has these elite, quote-unquote, rats in it with higher resistances, where something like Stormbringer is not going to shine. Well, that's the goal, Gitch. I'm thinking that if I can do that, I'd like to see what monetization looks like. There's a lot of content that I would enjoy covering or creating that I don't, that I can't really justify the amount of time it would take. So if it is something that has any sort of, I guess, opportunity cost that makes sense, you know, in terms of my life, then I'm definitely gonna do it. We got 3 more in here. So far today, I think I've done about 15 of these sites and haven't gotten an escalation yet. Oh no, I did. Oh, this was yesterday when I was ratting in nullsec though. And if we hit 500, I'll set up a camera. I wish I had a camera on the other day when I was doing the T6 Abyss and the Gila. I think that would have been that would have accelerated me right to my goal immediately if I had a clip of me throwing up into my computer and then scrambling for the Steam Deck to get into the abyss and get my character out. Really? Yeah, and low sec is certainly part of the plan here. Right now I'm feeling things out. I really have this idea in my head of having a couple of different ships that creates this whole mechanism of farming DEDs, and then whenever you are out of DED sites, you're running Abyss. So I'm kind of looking for a 0.5 mission hub that's close enough to quiet low sec, where the idea is that you're never running out of content, with a mixture of high sec and low sec. Low sec because of ease of travel. I'm mostly solo, so being able to travel gate to gate is huge, and I can't. All it would take is one bubble in a null sec system to kind of screw you over. But as long as you're not going through a pipe system in low sec, you can generally traverse pretty safely in a T3 cruiser that's Covops or T3 destroyer that's insta warp. And the drone sites, honestly, when I used to run DEDs back in the day before I ever did Abyssals, I would just ignore them entirely. Part of my theory here is that because when you take a combat site down, another one spawns in the region, the bleak lands here, when I look at it on Dotland, is actually a pretty small region. So if every time I pop one of these drone sites, I'm popping another combat site in the bleak lands, I'm testing it out right now. I could be wrong, but it might be worth it to take these down, just because it's spawning the other sites so quickly, and you do still have that small chance of getting a sentient drone damage amplifier, which I think is 80 to 100 mil. This is peak time for EU, and I have found that for whatever reason, I see more. It appears more EU players do the DED farming. When I come out here prime time for the United States, it's dead. There's nobody doing this. When I logged in this morning and started scanning sites in the Stratios, I saw another person doing the exact same thing. So see, this one has the cargo rig. I'll be able to just lock that. still have the same blood lookout, so someone hasn't been down here. So I do need to get a destroyer out here. And then these deep flow rifts, you actually use those with a tractor beam. I'll clean some of those up too, because they are showing as a combat site.
Warp drive active.
So you get a jackdaw here for there are DED sites that will only allow a frigate in, there are DED sites that will only allow a destroyer, and then there are DED sites that will only allow a cruiser, all in Highsec. There are some that are unrated that will let you take battleships if you wanted to, but for this whole plan to operate it really makes sense to have a cruiser, so like Stratios or Gila, a destroyer, a jackdaw or confessor, a frigate, and a Stormbringer. And then the battleship marauders, that's when we start taking the escalations that lead us into low sec, or when we scan down sites in low sec, that's when we would be using battleships and marauders. I'm kind of playing around with an Armageddon Navy that I think will be what I end up using for that, but we'll find out. Mostly just looking at it because you can really fit it to pump a lot of damage and still be an affordable fit. So cleaning the sites quickly if possible.
Warp drive active.
So I'm gonna go grab my jackdaw and get back out here.
Drive active.
You took me way back to when I started DED. Settled Millie Sibley clans, Farm Hama, for DED sites. Now I just do T4 Abyss like a scrub. Yeah, it's I used to be one of those guys. I was just telling Joe, Ronald Reagan. You guys have seen me run Abyssals with him. I used to be one of those guys that lost a Gila and a T3 Abyss and said, man, fuck the Abyss, I'm never doing that shit again. After that, I was pretty hard set on running DEDs, and it was mind-blowing to me to get that first 500 mil drop in Highsec in 15 minutes. I was hooked for a while.
Warp drive active.
And T4 Abyss is respectable. I will say, T5 is really, that's where it started to get worth it for me personally. T6 is fun for me, but it's, I don't know if it's good for my heart. We got jacked on Sagane. How's it fit? Yeah, that's fine enough. Do I pass through more? Going this way? Yes, okay.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, so the Armageddon, not a ship that I had ever even simulated until yesterday. And out of curiosity, I was just looking at, kind of what can we do with this ship for cheap. I mean, overheat just for the meme, right? Not that we're gonna do PvE with overheat, but over 2k DPS on paper with 848 as the total cost. I mean, granted, it's a pretty stupid fit, but just playing around with it, the bonuses are really attractive to me. It's all offense. And then the bonus on the NOS and the Newts too. And now with the Marauder nerf, Marauders losing their 100% bonus to shield extender and the armor plates, you can also fit it up to be extremely buffer tanky in comparison to a Marauder. So, not sure. I mean, this thing, you would want to park it 25 kilometers off of whatever your target is. But if it was a new Praxis or even just other battleships, I'm looking at this Armageddon. I want to play around and come up with something that I'll use for the low-sec DEDs, like 5 out of 10s and up, with the Armageddon. Because I know I can use a T3 cruiser, but if I can get something, like we can stop trying to fit this for pure damage and start trying to fit it for, the actual use case. And with the actual use case being these DEDs, a lot of the time the spawns are 100 kilometers out or they're really far away. So running crews and sentries with this bad boy, you think about the Dominics, everyone would say sentry Dommy, but I look at this ship as the real sentry battleship. We can run 5 Wardens with a bonus to drone damage. So, very similar to like a Rattlesnake running sentries, but we're fielding 5 instead of 2, and we are fielding crews. I guess that's the biggest question, is what would be better, this or the Rattlesnake, for a long-range cruise / sentry boat? Part of me really wants to lean towards the Armageddon in that scenario, because its bonus damage is to large energy turrets, rapid heavies, crews, and torpedoes, and it's not a specific damage type. So I can take this ship and apply its 1k DPS or whatever it winds up being here, with any damage type. So running 3 of these like cheap HEVA implants or low slots, doing 1k DPS, but I can change this flavor to whatever I want. Oh, okay, Gitch, yeah. So micro jump drive and cruise. Also sentries. Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. It just seems, I just have never looked at the Armageddon before. So if we take the same concept with the Rattle, we're now a bonus to all missile damage, but only kinetic and thermal. Which, kinetic and thermal covers a lot, but it's still...
Drive active.
If I run the same exact setup, two Wardens and 3 of the cheap HEVAs, I believe that the damage winds up being almost identical. Yeah, almost identical. It does make a better shield tanked ship, I suppose. But much more expensive. Yeah, I think a Rattlesnake is much more attractive. And I'm not sure what the insurance is like on the Navy battleships. It's been a long time since I've flown a battleship like that. But I'd have to imagine that it's probably better than pirate.
Warp drive active.
That being said, we can do the same thing with the rattlesnake, but make it kind of stupid. So what I mean by that would be, sure, I could be asking for a gank. Sure, I could be asking for people to drop on me, hot drop on me, but if we have our passive regen, you know, sitting at 1,000 a second, you know, I pop a Nirvana clone in, put a jump drive on,
Warp drive
put an
active.
EM resistance amplifier, one of the expensive HEVA implant or low slots, the X type. So with a Nirvana clone, this is easily going to be about 800 HPS, not 547. The cost is obviously more than double. Slightly lower damage, but the tank is actually stupid. So that's my main struggle right now in like the Armageddon versus the Rattlesnake is which one would I'm leaning towards Rattlesnake, but I also like the idea of the Armageddon.
Warp drive active.
I'm just gonna build a new Jackdaw. I prefer to just have more.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Why is this 800 mil? Oh, good lord.
Warp drive active. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
I think I'm just gonna get a little bit of a line time off of the mid slots here. And then CPU is always a bit of a challenge here. There we go. It's nothing super pretty or fancy. Actually, probably just don't even want to do that. Medium. We don't need any tank really. Just want a little bit of buffer, just in case, and then we'll put compact hardener on. Do some Inferno Navy. Should have some. Let's see. Oh my gosh. I was bringing stuff out here on my alt. I bought it in a Mar, autopiloted all the way out here, and I didn't bring the stuff.
Drive active. Cool. And we can just get a couple of these for travel. That puts us at 1.14 on the align. Still not 100% safe, but if you're not going through Amazon, you're probably fine. Only the real OG's autopilot. I mean, I actually haul things in a Gnosis because of the ability to tank it, fill it up with cargo expanders. It's not gonna carry a huge amount, but it can ship modules around and not have the paper thin tank of a T1 hauler. But I've been looking at these Edencom hauling ships that have the bonuses to missiles that can move around stations and that sort of thing. I'm curious. I haven't looked into it too much, but what the thought process is here, giving them missile damage. And the Battleship has a 100% bonus to auto-targeting missiles. I should have, or the freighter rather, should have done this on the test server. So yeah, this freighter gets a 100% bonus to auto-targeting missile damage and 50% bonus to missile damage entirely. My skills are shit for it, so it won't sim up properly, but looking at crews. Verno Fury, no, Verno auto-targeting. So we get another 100% and then 50%, so 900. Or, I mean, it looks like it'll get up to about 1400, 1500 DPS with auto-targeting cruise missiles. Like, am I missing something here? Is this something I can just go run missions in the Avalanche? AFK?
Drive active.
Look at right, like 401,000 EHP. Again, my skills are bad. 1500 DPS with auto-targeting crews. Oh, and then, you know, when I'm doing my missions, since I have 205,000 meters cubed inventory space, you know, I just never have to dock up to drop off my loot.
Drive active. Drive active.
Could be running these things on the way, but I'm just gonna get out there with my stuff and start working this theory that I have. Saw Hakate and You see a lot of like T3 destroyers out in Highsec, and most of the time this is what they're farming the DED sites.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
I wonder if I can set this to the actual Eve game category. Yes. And then with the way that we're currently fit up right now, this is important. I mean, especially we got this guy. He's just jumping through now, going into low sec. Oh, sorry, this is Gamble. We got one more jump. But the way we're currently fit, if you look at how long it takes me to align, just clicking warp,
Active.
you know, we're looking for under a second. Right now we're at 1.1, but this will effectively give us like a 99% chance of making it past this gate, even if there's a gate camp, unless they're running a very particular setup that I am not sure what it is, but I'm certain that it revolves around remote SIBOs and SIBOs, essentially increasing their scan resolution so they can lock you instantly and get that scram off. So get a bad server tick. You know, if they have PID on you, you know, or the priority of you know, how the server is going to start processing actions, that can also fuck you as well. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Teehee.
Warp drive active.
If you're curious about Instalock and how it works at a much more mechanical level, I can't remember if it's a video or a forum post, but someone does a really good breakdown of PID in Eve and server ticks. I think that would be a really useful resource for you if you're looking to traverse low sec safely. I've been gone from the system for about half an hour, and I can see that this blood lookout is still here. So that tells me, at the very least, someone hasn't scanned that site down and completed it.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
So I'm hoping, you know, that while I'm just chilling here, trying to make some money, that we can cover some topics that would be, insightful for those watching. I am thinking about putting a mobile depot out here in space and just kind of have it permanently sit there so I can refit on the fly. That's why I brought these tractor beams, so the Stratios can do those deep flow rifts, and I can show you guys what those are and how those work. And if I come across anything new, or that I have not done before, that looks like I would be able to do it, I'll look it up and do it here with you guys live so you can see that too. But these deep flow rifts are interesting, especially for Highsec players. They drop blue sleeper loot and red Triglavian loot, and it's essentially this wormhole that's just sitting in space, and you use your tractor beam on it to pull these crates out of it, like loot crates. It's really interesting, actually. Now, these sites, I cannot remember the exact triggers, so I'm going to pull it up. So, Blood, Lookout, Eve Uni is my search. What we're looking for here is the Commander Frigate spawn in the second room, potentially after Wave 3. So if he spawns, that's where we get the good loot. We cannot get to the next room without destroying all of these guys, so that's what we're doing. They're weak to EM, so we'll do... I'm going to do this too. Ungroup our weapons, because that'll speed things up. These guys look like they're the the stronger of the rats here. Sometimes you have those, weary to call them elite, but I believe that's the technical term. So we're gonna put a little bit more extra love on those guys. Usually you don't have to destroy towers or structures to go through a gate.
Drive active.
Looks like that's the case here. Now, if it's anything like the Galente sites, this left group, I think, acts as the trigger. And so some of these DED sites, we're calling anything that's a green site or a scanned site or an escalation at DED site. Anything that's a DED site, a lot of these sites will have a guaranteed commander spawn, so think like a boss. This site is one of the ones that has a chance to spawn that commander. So it looks like there are 3 total groups, and then the commander wave. So like I said, if this spawns the commander wave, yeah, it did. Do we have a commander rat? Does not look like it. It might be this wave that I have to destroy to get it, but we would be looking for the Dark Blood Upholder. That's our commander. What's the range on these? 70 kilometers right now. And this is why I go for the jacked off of these sites, just because of the missile range. And I believe that the commander rat would have already spawned if there was going to be one, but I'm just going to finish the site. It's been a long time. Now we've got
drive active.
1, 2, 3 of these rifts, so I'm going to show you what the rifts do. So far today, loot's been, not too wild. Been at it for an hour and made 200 mil. No escalations. So right now luck is bad, and we're at 200 mil an hour. I think the big difference here is that the gameplay is varied. We're mixing things up. We're scanning, we're fighting. Now we're about to go tractor beaming. Now, I have not fought the rats in these sites we're about to go to, but I'm going to try not to spawn them for this example. This is these deep flow rifts are something that you can do in a frigate. And head to one. I'll make a little safe while I'm on the way, just to have a place to put down an MTU. Or mobile depot rather, not an MTU. So we have someone here already, Aguila, who's you can see he's doing it. So this Aguila is probably very similar to us in terms of a he's running DEDs, he's doing Highsec exploration, right? So what you have to do is you tractor beam this rift. I'm going to pull up my opportunities tab so I can see it, because this instability, once that instability rises, a surge of rats come out. So you can see here he's fighting this soothing peltast. I'm going to go ahead and imagine that it's not going to be very intense in terms of the rats, because the people here are going to be Highsec players. But some things to note: your tractor beams don't automatically cycle, but you saw there I just pulled a canister out, and that canister is worth about a little over $1 million. So this is it. You're just fishing out of this little wormhole here. It looks like we spawned some rats. And I have not seen these rats yet, so looks like they're going straight for this Gila and his drones. Instability is at 50%. I wonder if we can get this Gila killed. He's warping off. Absolutely. We could get someone killed. I think it's time for us to warp off too, then, just in case.
Warp drive active.
So when I'm doing DEDs and Highsec, I'm always interested in Emergent PVP. One of the things that you'll see a lot of the time, there's other people doing these sites. So, and that blood lookout didn't despawn. I guess you have to destroy the structure. So there are times I'll do anything I can to get a kill. This guy sent a frowny face to me. So a lot of the time when people are people will contest you, they'll suspect up, they'll steal your loot. It's a lot of fun stuff.
Warp drive active.
Trying to remember which one we went to initially. I think it was YSG. I think that's the one that has all the rats at it. He's got a pack rat mobile tractor unit. So yeah, looks like there's some potential suspect baiting that you can do here. You know, I could, in theory, go attack his MTU and suspect up on him and see if he would engage me. You know, that's the type of content that I'm interested in while I'm doing this, beyond just making money. Suspect baiting is not something, it's going to be a new modern art. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like, suspect baiting mission runners is very difficult. A lot of the mission runners are just old players, veteran players who are kind of stuck in their ways. A lot of these things spawn quick. And as a result, they know how to avoid getting suicide ganked. So, yeah, it looks like this is definitely not fun. When you spawn the rats. So I did it with one tractor beam instead of doing all 4 at once, and that keeps the instability low, and you can just sit there and get the little 1 mil loot boxes. So you can go in a frigate, and you can do it slow, and you can get these 1.2 mil boxes. I haven't tried anything beyond that. That's why I'm asking this guy who's doing them now. But it may be worth going in a combat ship to actually clean up those rats. Not necessarily what I'm looking to do.
Warp drive active.
Change the highs for newts. You got my explorer ganking strategies. I might be able to tank them. I didn't. My tank's pretty good right now. I'm weary to be the first person to find out if I can tank them or not. I kind of want to. I guess in my head, I was thinking that I would let this guy cool down for a minute and feel safe and get back over to one of these things and see if I can't get it to spawn a bunch more and get him killed. That way I can loot him. Yeah, no hard feelings to that guy or anything, but... Yeah, so YSGO2 is the one that has his pack rat mobile tractor unit. But he's still not there, so I think he might be scared of the amount of rats there. When I targeted him, his Gila was at 50%. So I'm wondering if he's a passive fit or not. I'm just gonna look this guy up real quick. Okay, he's got decent little kill board. You know, he's not a complete newbie. Looks like the last person he killed was a frat player in the Bleak Lands. Faction Warfare player. That was a month ago. Okay. Oh, this guy's asking if I can help him kill them. I might actually help him so I can see what the site is and what it does, but it would really increase our IS per hour if we could get him to die and he's got any bling on his ship. Which one was it again? Deep Flow Rift. Oh, it must have despawned. Oh, and I should have saved his MTU location. He's lost his MTU now. Unless he saved it. He's out in his cheetah now, so he can scan it back down, I'm guessing. Yeah, he just said now I need a combat scan my tractor. Okay, yeah, he doesn't look like a total noob from when I looked at his kill board, so I mean it is a pack rat MTU, so that could be a fun little yeah, maybe I'm gonna go hop in the Jackdaw, see if I can't find his MTU and attack it. I guess he could. Can you scoop it to a cheetah? Probably. I think that they have like 400 meters cubed. It's cheetah Mimitar. $200 meters cubed.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
What are the odds he doesn't have enough space? I think it was nearby. Okay, I do have combat zone. What the fuck? There we go. Yeah, right next to my safe. That makes sense. He wants me to invite him to a fleet.
Warp drive active.
Ooh. Oh, because they're all here on his shit.
Warp drive active.
That's interesting. Okay, he wants me to get into a fleet with him. Alright. I'm trying to think, how can I do this? I can invite him to a fleet. Lull him into a sense of security, let him get capped out.
Warp drive active.
He says warp to me. I don't want to warp to anybody, dude.
drive active.
Fucking sketchy. What do you think this guy does if I start shooting his fucking MTU? Let's add him to watch list. I'll have to target him. Oh my god, he's almost dead. No fucking way. No shot, he's almost dead. No shot, he's about to just die. Do they scram you? Oh, he warped off. So I don't think they scram you.
Warp drive active.
Oh. Dude, he got to armor and his Gila. Fuck. I need like a ganking ult. Just pick one and shoot, he says. I was without shield. Oh, okay. Bump him when he starts to warp, stay far away from them. I'm open to ideas here. Like, let's see if I can find a Gila that this guy's lost. Excuse me. Oh, I'm getting a phone call.
Warp drive active.
Alright, sorry about that, guys. I had a phone call I had to take. Bit scram to hold him. I'm just in here right now, like, I could null filament him, but I'm hitting one of these and see if they're gonna jump on me or not. You know what? I know what I'm gonna do. Because I'm really bored. And I can't think of a way to get this guy to stay here longer than he should without attacking his tractor unit. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna fucking warp to the tractor unit on 0, start burning away from the rats and just start blapping at it and suspect up and see if that'll make him like try to attack me or not. And at least if he attacks me, then the limited engagement. He's gonna be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? What a dick. His drones. Shields are at 0, but he's about to have to warp off. I know, but he has to warp off. Now, does he warp in at 0 on these things? No, these things are on me now. So now what we do is we make this another safe. Yes, we warp to my safe now, right? And then if he warps back quickly, right? Thinking like, oh gosh, the rats are on him now. I'm gonna warp onto my MTU and grab it. I'm gonna warp back too, but then the rats will go on him. Actually need to like scan the shit. Why is my align to? My D-scan's not automatically. There we go. Perfect. I did make an on-grid like 75 kilometers out. He says warping to me. Okay. Well, oh, I forgot about that. Because he's in fleet now. This spot because I need to warp to it as soon as he lands.
Warp drive.
He's landing right on top of his tractor unit. He's probably gonna get it and be able to get away.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, I don't see the tractor unit anymore, but I see Nikita. Well, I tried.
Warp drive active.
Wanted to see if I could get a kill on him, but...
Warp drive active.
Yeah, that first time that he dipped into armor, if I could have just bumped him once right there,
Requested. Docking request
he would have popped.
accepted.
And to anyone who's watching this who might think I'm an asshole, like, I get it, like, we're in Highsec and everything, and I'm playing games with people, but I like PvP, and this type of PvP is much more enjoyable to me. Dude, I had one time in one of these emerging conduit skitch, a paladin accidentally shot my rattlesnake with red safety on, got concorded, and then I made 2 bill. And he just sent me like a frowny face afterwards. Alright, so 10 minutes of suspect. What can we do with 10 minutes of suspect? I need to get scrams and whatnot. Guess we could make a quick Amar trip since I don't really want to stay still. Gotta burn up my 10 minutes of suspect anyways, right? And then one benefit to this is when you start running DEDs in an area and you're like known for being in that area by the locals and you start playing these kind of games, they end up not contesting your sites because they know you're gonna suspect up, you're gonna steal their loot, you're gonna... Yeah, needle jacks, 100%. Dude, if I had a fucking a different ship and was PvP fit and needle jacks, that dude would have been toast. 100%. Yeah, that's a genius idea. Because you can strike up a chat with somebody, say like, here, like, let's hop in fleet, I'll help you kill it. Boom, out to null, scram web, you're dead, and then I Potchfin Express back home, find the next traveler.
Drive active.
Yeah, what a great idea. Because it's not like an Abyssal where you have to take the gate. When you do a fleet filament, it's like they just have to be next to my ship and I can take them with me. Yeah, I mean, that's... I wonder if I want to just go grab the Loki, because... Yeah, a big part of what I do, man, is go out to nullsec for content, and then potchfin my way back home. The biggest threat for a solo player, or a player trying to do something by themselves, is gate-to-gate travel, in my experience. So anything that circumvents traveling gate-to-gate is generally a bonus.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Because my Stratios right now is just kind of fit for like active tank. Oh, the pod express. Well, see, I like to go to nullsec with a clone, and it's nice being able to take a Tengu or Loki out to null, right? And then if it's a dead system, you know, you're just free farming content. I kind of want to go do that right now. I think the issue with it, especially since I'm like trying to stream on YouTube, is that you would always like, I'm gonna jump into a system. There's 7 people. Well, guess what? I'm AFK for the next 15 minutes. You know, until I can take another filament. Taking gates is how I lose ships. Yeah, 100%. And this is the other fun thing about being around in a insta-warp. Even though I don't even have my insta-warp on or equipped right now, I mean, I'm still at 1.5 align. Not many people in Highsec are going to be sitting at gates with SIBOs trying to catch suspects. So I feel pretty safe traveling through Highsec as a suspect in a T3 destroyer. It's like, yeah, anyone can attack me right now, but who's going to? And are they even going to be able to?
Warp drive active.
You could never, were they like, you just mean could never catch them at gates, or? I mean, I'm sure if you have like a nano kitey jackdaw, that like not only are you insta-warp, but you're
Warp drive
also
active.
faster than everybody else, and you have 80-kilometer range, like light missiles, so you apply to everything. I think if I ever wanted to do a large-scale multi-boxing, it would probably be jackdaws. Instead of a fleet of mining ships, imagine 10 jackdaws running DEDs. You know, you're pumping 3,500 DPS with light missiles. Any damage type you want. I feel like multi-box jackdaws could be stupid strong. Plus you could buffer fit them all so that you don't have to micromanage anything other than pressing you know, prop mod and missiles. suspect timer works pretty well for timing the travel. About 10 minutes to get from there to Amar. And that's one of the things as I've been getting back into the game and talking with Vulcan Ash here and some of the other friends I have in game, trying to decide like what I want to do is the travel is like such the overall logistics of just like moving around in the game are so intense that that's kind of it's like the number one thing on the forefront of my mind here as I start to decide what it is I want to do in the game coming back.
Warp drive active. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Amar is so populated at this time of day. And I can't remember if the noise or the signal filaments are the ones that take you to more populated. Interesting too, these are 100k here. When I bought them in Dodixie yesterday, they were 250k. So if there's anyone watching this who's like a trader or whatever, maybe you got some station trading potential with needlejacks. I know you do with Abyssal filaments. You can just print money moving them from Jita to Amar. Noise for less populated. Okay. That's what I thought noise was less populated. And then I just did this yesterday, so I shouldn't have already forgotten. But I believe the border will take us to a border system in Trig. And then the Glorification 5. Glorification to Navy. This will take us back to known space. Yep. Yeah, I really know that there's a lot of opportunity for trading between Amar and Jita for sure. As someone who runs a lot of Abyssals, I can tell you, like, for an absolute fact, especially with the filaments here. Hey, thanks, Vulcan Ash, you too. Noise, signal. Okay, we got some filaments. Disruptors and some scrams. Just have them in that station. Clones here. Probably keep it that way. Oh, that's right, I took my fucking Loki out of Stackmon like a tard. And my Asclepian's out there in that island. But yeah, the Hydra clone is what I was thinking for the Armageddon. Alright, let's see. We're gonna do this. Make our way back out. Would have been really cool to watch that guy pop, see what he had on him. Definitely will need to fit up a Stratios the way that you're describing, Gitch, a nuke boat. Because one of the things, like, you'll compete with a lot of Gilas in the actual DD 3 out of 10s, 4 out of 10s. I'm sure you know if you had the Stratios. But if you have a Newt Stratios fit, I'd be curious. Do I what? Yeah, I mean, my current Stratios fit will probably handle a majority of the people that would take the bait.
Warp drive active.
No, I don't need implants for DD farming. I just like to have my attributes in so that I'm training more. And I wanted to know where my crystal clone was because I'm thinking about taking the Loki or a Tengu out to Nullsec and trying to get some 10 out of 10s. I was saving up some money so I could buy another Loki and Tengu. Haven't seen Eve in a decade? Gosh, I bet it looks a lot different then. It's a much more pretty game than it used to be. Yeah, Gitch, I was just thinking if I'm gonna take the T3 cruiser out to Null and do exploration out there, I'm gonna be playing so risk adverse anyways. Like if there's even one other person in the system, I'll just cloak up and do no content. If I'm gonna be going that hard, I may as well bring my clone and do things a little bit quicker. Because yeah, like I said, I'll basically just be like warping out as soon as someone comes in anyways. So
Active.
I've never died doing that. I did die once, Pochvin expressing, because my game disconnected when I filamented into Poch. So my guy was just sitting there in the middle of space and got scanned down by someone. It was just really bad luck. But it's pretty fucking safe, and I guess I was thinking that might be something I would want to show people, is just how safe it is to go do content in Nullsec, even without a Nullsec group, entirely by yourself, without any scouting. You can be safe about it. Yeah, for sure, Studebaker. I'm someone who's played Eve for a long time. I don't claim to be an expert in any one particular field. I'm a pretty opinionated player, but at the end of the day, like, I enjoy teaching, and showing people how to do things. So if there's anything that you have a question about, feel free to ask.
Drive active.
I think for me, there's a lot of ways to make a lot of money in this game, and I generally focus on trying to min-max like my earning potential, but I'm also, big reason why I'm doing the content that I'm doing right now is that it's very varied, mixes things up a bit. A few minutes ago we were trying to get someone killed in Highsec. Before that we were doing a scan down site. Now we're doing green sites. There's a little bit of travel, a little bit of moving around. It's a little bit less, it doesn't feel as slow as running like Battleship or Marauder content, and it's a lot more chill than the Abyss, so it mixes things up a bit. Looks like that escalation was in Highsec, so we'll go pursue that.
Warp drive active.
Here's my noob strategies. Where'd you put it? Alliance? Or Pirates? Discord? Oh, how interesting. They put the jump button over here.
Drive active.
I'll take it. See the URL in chat. Oh, let's see. Hey, I appreciate it. For whatever reason, I don't know if it trimmed out the Here, you can just add me. I don't know if I need to give you the 4 numbers afterwards, if that's still a thing. I haven't made a Discord yet for Eve. I've got an old community that I ran that has a couple hundred people in there still that I would probably just rebrand that Discord. Streamer mode automatically enabled. 6, 5, 1. Yeah, if cool at 0 doesn't work, maybe that does, but.
Warp drive active.
Deployable. Get distracted MTU hunting. It's like a golem running L4s. That's Mobile Depot. Yeah, that's kind of part of what I'm thinking too. Is I've tried doing giveaways before, and I've been making a lot of tools lately for various software projects, including a Discord bot, some Eve focused tools like a local threat clone. I started making like a .lan clone. Really just exploring different things as I'm getting more, picking up some more technical skills. But once I hit 500, I definitely would open back up that Discord with my old guilds that I've run. All those people are still in there, and then set up a bit more of a formal structure to the schedule for streaming, for content, and probably introduce some sort of incentives to get that growth where I'm looking for it to be. So different giveaways, maybe give out like Omega for Eve streams or something like that.
Drive active.
Both don't work. Huh. Yeah, I haven't added someone on Discord in a while. Their Discord username. Should just be cool at 0. In the meantime, the alliance I'm currently in Eve, Discord should be public. We have public channels in there. This is not my Discord, it's my friends, but I am currently in their alliance if you wanted to post the fit in there somewhere. I'm not gonna do the refuges and the jackdaw. These take too long. So by the time I get back to the Stormbringer and start doing them, there will be more spawned, and it just does them so fast.
Drive active.
Actually, I'm gonna do the core probes.
Drive active.
Quite a bit more active if you are scanning and doing combat at the same time, but there are a lot of rats for us to kill here. It's gonna take a minute. actually just gonna burn away from them at the start because there are so many of them. Don't need to burn directly to the gate. And this is where the Stormbringer really shines, because this just goes, it's immediate. It's like 3 cycles of your guns and all 30 rats are dead. Dropped it in the public chat. Thanks, man. Let me import that. Okay, so Scram and Disruptor, Sensor Booster for the quick lock, passive, I like the drone damage, double newt, and then you run the battery, a large battery. Yeah, that looks nasty, and cheap too. And I guess the buffer is all you really need, and squeezing the drone damage out that makes sense to my brain, especially if you're going to be newting them. If you can newt them dry, hold them in place, you just need enough buffer to get them newted dry. And then a little bit of buffer, and power grid for the large battery, and some cap recharge so that you're able to get the newts cycled off. Alright. And then your drones are doing all the DED work. So really you're just you're running DEDs like normal with drones, and if you do get into a scenario where someone's contesting a site, you've got the micro warp drive so you can get right on top of the loot, suspect up and take it, and then if they take the bait, you're golden. I do like purpose-built fits like that, where it's one of the things I've noticed with a lot of people who teach new players in PvE scenarios, whether that's mission running or DEDs, they generally are advertising fits that are permanently cap stable, that can run their reps constantly. They're not really looking at buffer. They're looking at, healing through all of the incoming damage. And that's great and all, but buffer is great for PvP. Buffer is great for PvE when done right. And then on top of that, just because I lost some of my armor buffer and I can't repair it back, I'm still setting myself up for being PvP capable, so that when that does happen, it's not like you need that armor to run the PvE. You don't need to be at 100% armor, you just need to be able to complete the site. Disruptors for catching ventures. Okay, so you're to be able to put the because you're not running a faction point or a faction scram, you gotta have 3 points of scram on them. Now for ventures, I like to use stealth bomber blasters on it. It's just so fun. Guaranteed kill every single time. Who's our guy here? I think it's the frigate, yeah. Black Ops Commander. Where's my rec? I need recs in my overview.
Warp drive active.
It's enough to one-shot them. Generally. Anti-venture, here we go. 2 blasters, 2 torpedo launchers, a sensor booster, 2 scrams, and a web. And you warp to the belt they're at, cloaked. You bookmark their asteroid they're on. You warp on top of them, and you bump them out of cloak, which decloaks you. And because you're a stealth bomber, you've got no targeting delay after you decloak. So you insta-lock, double scram, web, now they can't get away, and your blasters just... It's like, it's really, 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 really effective, and especially when you have like, oh shit, I'm not able to warp directly to the wreck, that's dumb. Especially when you have like people in your space who are just sending out their little alpha clone alts to mine venture in your space so that they can spy on you, and you can actually just get rid of them 100% of the time. Nothing they can do about it. Yeah, you can also sit in a wormhole and have all of the data and relic sites scanned down and just wait until someone's hacking a cam with that venture, warp on top of them and pop them. I have done that too, but it is that type of gameplay that what do they call that? Spider. I don't remember the name people use for it, like you're a trapdoor spider or something, but it's just so, it takes so long. It's fun. It's really satisfying when you pull it off, but God, does it take forever. I think I can tank this for a minute. Come on, let me get my loot and get out of here, please. Crap loot, but 7 mil. Lots of ventures huffing in your chain. Go with patience and sit and wait for them to come. Yeah, it really is like, you know, in a scenario where I had unlimited money, unlimited time, and no responsibilities, and a 9 monitor setup, I could imagine having 8 of those little ventures, or 8 of those little stealth bombers just chilling in your chain waiting for it to happen. But it's more like if you live in a low sec and you've got the stealth bomber in your station, you've got some pesky ventures hanging around your space, you can just undock and take them out. Yeah, we had, it was a couple months ago, but I found a wormhole in our system and popped in with the Tengu and saw they had an entire fleet of procures and a porpoise out there huffing gas in barges, and it was like 10 of them. And I got a buddy of mine to bring out a saber, and we killed all of them, and it was glorious. Like 2 people. I think that's what kind of scares me about wormholes. You know, this wormhole popped up, and within 2 minutes I scanned it down, went in, saw the people, scrambled a saber, and within 5 minutes we landed on them with a bubble and a T3 cruiser that was pumping 1200 DPS. So, I mean, all it took for that guy was to, you know, walk away for 3 minutes and he lost his whole fleet. Zata Monastery is, I feel like that's a Cosmos site. Gotta look that one up. No, it's DED 4 out of 10. Guaranteed cruiser spawn. Lots of sentry towers, but I don't know if they're the newt towers. They do have newt shit in here. This is a good one, but it's not a good one for the Jackdaw. Where are we at? Gamdus. Four jumps from the Shab. 5 from a Mar, and I still have shit in Mar. So we can take a battle cruiser in there. I have an Ishtar. Yeah. Probably knock that out with the Ishtar then. Let's see what this one drops. We have a guaranteed commander. Drop faction modules, and the Inner Sanctum drops. This is the one with newts. No, this is the one that has a retarded amount of webs, though. Warning, long-range weaponry that reaches out to 60 kilometers is highly recommended. 6 stasis towers effectively nullify ship velocity at almost nothing. All ships and sentries are in range. Incoming DPS can easily exceed 500, enough to shred a battlecruiser to pieces within a minute. Okay. I think Blood Watch is one of the ones that has a chance to spawn a commander. One of these out in this space has a lot of newts. I think it's Blood Watch. Yes, it is. A lot of newts. One wrong move and you're back to Jita. Yeah, 100%. I think my challenge has been that I really enjoy flying blingy, and you know, I'm a big proponent of don't fly what you can't afford to lose, but there is something fun to me about flying something really blingy and null and low and wormholes and keeping that ship alive for as long as I can. And there's a lot you can do in nullsec and lowsec to ensure that. Wormhole space, not so much. Yeah, the room with the webs, I think it's kind of intense. And I have a Gila in this area that will run all of these things no problem. think the Gila might be on Evo. Yeah.
Warp drive active.
But I got a blood watch in the system too, so it's I got 2 good ones, but they're both, I think, the sketchier Highsec DEDs. Like, out of all the Highsec DEDs, I think the Mol Zata Monastery and the Blood Raider, or the Blood Watch, were the ones that were the most hairy. So one has very intense webs and one has very intense newts. I'm going to clean up this intelligence collection point, and then I guess I'm probably going to go grab something that will handle those sites. I got an Ishtar 5 jumps away and a Mar, but it's like a nullsec ratting 100 MN fit. I don't know yet if that would be enough. I know the Gila will do it just fine. But I think the fill in this Ishtar is really bad. Yeah, it's no EM resist at all. Yeah, I could fix that. Magila also just do it a lot faster.
A module has run out of charges. Warp drive active.
Yeah, I think I will. Plus I want to, I don't get to play with my augmented infiltrators very often. Well, mutated augmented infiltrators. They slap. It's really fun. It's a lot. think that they are doing about 380 DPS each. With my fit.
Warp drive active.
Who's our boy? Oh, there's another gate. And hey, if you're new to the stream, to the channel, thanks for watching. Appreciate you being here. Been watching the number kind of like deviate up and down here, so I'm sure some of the people here are new. Really just chilling, running DEDs, mixing it up, grinding some money, answering questions. Well, it's I think these are some good rolled ones, and I have on that fit I'm talking about, I do have the Abyssal drone damage amplifiers on it. They aren't god tier rolls or anything like that, but it does make a difference. Every little percentage point when you're talking about a ship that multiplies the damage by 500%. Makes a big difference. Oops, target wreck. Yeah, I think it winds up being about 1,000 DPS, but it's running, thermal missiles and thermal EM drones that have good tracking. So the application of the damage is really nice. I mean, if you just want to focus on paper DPS, you can push Agila well past 1,200. With mutated, augmented hammerheads, but when you're mutating drones, it's very difficult for you to get something that's green rolled on all of the damage application stats. So tracking speed, optimal range, you generally will end up getting negative on at least one, accuracy fall off, whatever it might be. And the hammerheads are not the best application medium drones, especially when you're talking about smaller targets like this. So the infiltrators seem to apply much better to a broader selection of targets. They are not just augmented, right, 30 mil price tag, but then mutated as well. The actual cost of them is probably not worth justifying, but there was a time when I made like 500 mutated drones and I spent like all of my net worth on it, and it was silly, but I did that. This is who we gotta kill. We gotta kill this alpha. And that's kind of one of the things I'm trying to pay attention for, is like who's coming into these systems and what they're flying, because I don't want to go grab that whole my Gila and all that just to wind up with someone else having already cleared the site. I need to get better D-scan filters set up eventually. But for now, I'll just keep them bad. Yeah, just pass them through. Okay, so now, do I have this system in my notepad? I do. Now we're gonna go grab the Gila to knock these out, and maybe along the way we'll find some stuff. Yeah, the faction drones are great for application, man. Oh, it won't even let me sim.
Warp drive active.
It's only showing 3 drones in the bay. I might have lost my drones on the Gila, my good drones on the Gila whenever that Abyss happened the other day. No, it just doesn't sim them. Yeah, so see this augmented infiltrator. You can see the damage modifier on it here. The thing about the mutated drones that's even crazier is that they mutated drones get their own specialization skill, similar to like Mimitar drone specialization or Galente drone specialization. So when you mutate a drone, DED farming is absolutely lucrative. It's the biggest problem is like competition, other players. Oh yeah, I'm not even in my clone Gitch. Wait till you see what the EHP is in my clone. It's nutty. But the mutated drone specialization allows you to squeeze. Not only are you getting extra damage because the drone is mutated, but you can apply a specialization skill to a drone that previously wouldn't benefit from a specialization skill.
Warp drive active.
So the faction drones, as an example, a Federation Navy Hammerhead is going to have better hit points and better tracking than a Tech 2 Hammerhead. The Tech 2 Hammerhead is going to have more raw damage application, paper DPS, because of the fact that it benefits from the Galente drone specialization skill. But if we mutate a Federation Navy Hammerhead, so a faction drone, we now have a mutated Federation Navy Hammerhead, and it's going to get 10% extra damage from the mutated drone specialization skill. So it not only like buffs the drone by abyssaling it, but now you're allowing that drone that previously didn't benefit from a specialization skill to benefit from a specialization skill. And yeah, that Gila is the, I run I've run T6, Exotic, and Gamma in that Gila. And it's a passive fit. So, yeah, it's at 105 EHP. I think you're right. 169 is more where it will be with the Nirvana clone in. And then I'm sure they're either expired now or almost expired. But those the White Storm boosters that you get from the Christmas event, they increase your total shield HP. Those are the boosters that allow me to do T6 Exotic and a passive Gila. Because that extra 10% on top of all of that buffer is just gigantic. Hey, thanks, Volk. Yeah, I don't think that mutated drones are a requirement for jumping to 5s. I mean, I know they're not. You can run Gamma 5s with the right, if you have the right skills, with just pure Republic Fleet Valkyries and Inferno Fury missiles. I personally, whenever I run T5 Abyss, I only use Inferno Fury missiles. I don't use Faction, I don't use Explosive, I don't use Kinetic. The reason why I use Inferno Fury is for the rooms with the sleepers, the Ephilates. They only have 10% across the board on all their resistances. So that allows you to benefit from the 50% thermal bonus damage from the Gila hull itself. And then beyond that, the Republic Fleet Valkyries have better tracking generally than the mutated drones. Like I said, the even when you're mutating drones, like I have mutated Republic Fleet Valkyries, they do more damage to the battleships every single time, but I see them miss the frigates more often than the faction variant. So you can get away with just taking faction drones and T2 drones into tier 5 Abyss. That being said, the mutated drones speed up the battleship rooms, absolutely. But it hurts so much to like roll the mutated drones, because it generally takes a lot of rolling them to even get one that's good. I gave so many away, and I wish I didn't. Now that Mutamarket is set up with your ESI, you can actually like you can import all of the Abyssal modules that you have, and have it appraise all of your Abyssal modules in bulk. And if that was around when I was doing the mutated drones, I think I would have at least broke even or made some money. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, so far mutated drones are fun. They've been fun for me to play with. I like theory crafting and pushing the limit, but it has been an ISK negative endeavor for me.
Drive active.
don't know if you were here earlier, Joe, whenever this Gila was running these exploration sites. We saw him dip into armor. I was trying to play Highsec games with him, but is this expanded? Damn. Yeah, I need to usually carry a sister's core with my Gila too, just in case I want to do this type of stuff that I'm doing right now. That way, while I'm warping through the systems on my way to the DEDs I know exist, I can scan things down and run things on the way there.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Probably should have left the Jackdaw in Mar, but oh well, you live and you learn. Yeah, there is a guaranteed death combo for the Stormbringer. I have been, kind of teaching people the Abyss for a while now. Vulcanash, kind of in here in this chat, he's the one that turned me onto it, and I'll say that the Gila is certainly the easiest way that I have found to reliably farm 5s. Yeah, I'm sticking to DEDs right now. At the end of the day, like, I'm a little bit sketched out by the Abyss. I'm giving it like a day because I just got my computer back into working order. So. But absolutely, I mean, that's why like this fit that I have right now in the Gila is something I haven't changed in so long, because I can run every DED in Highsec with this ship. I can run any Abyssal for the most part in this ship, other than Darks. Yeah, Vulcanash in here, he's done the Stormbringer Abyss. I haven't actually done it. I died once doing it with a bad fit. It was not the fit everyone uses. So if he has something to say about Stormbringer Abyss, then I can vouch and say that he knows what he's talking about. But I did a lot of test server stuff whenever CC was still around for public use, and I'll say that for the Abyss, for tier 5, you're just not gonna beat the Gila in reliability. Escalation takes us to low, but that command relay outpost isn't so bad to knock out Nostratios or Jackdaw.
Drive active. Drive active.
be right back.
Warp drive active.
Okay, I'm back.
Warp drive active.
I'd like to see you run a couple before I get when the ship comes like 10. What do you run right now? You said you're doing T4s?
Warp drive active.
The Povertila. Okay. I don't remember what the Povertila setup is. Oh, they don't just have the fit in here, it's all links to websites. I've looked at it before, I just don't don't have it saved. Is it this fit that's the dual C-type booster? Does this look like the Povertila? Yeah.
Warp drive active.
It looks cheap and effective. Couple glaring things I noticed though. Active tank, 147 HPS. You got 4,000 total shield HP, 24,000 EHP, right? I'm not even sitting in my clone yet. Passive recharge is 88. My passive recharge will be about 157 before going into the gamma, and then it goes up to like 200. So I mean, the passive, think about this, the passive recharge is more than the active tank. Couple that with the buffer is almost 10 times more.
Warp drive active.
And then once you go into the gamma, it's going to be well over 10 times more. Lost 2 from about 60 runs in the Povertila. Well, there's room for error on the Povertila. That's the problem. And then purgers are actually like better than extenders, but extenders, when you're pushing this level of like tank and bling, this gives me enough tank to survive
a lot of suicide gank attempts. I'm not saying it's impossible to get ganked, you know, people still find a way. But I like the buffer for that purpose, and it's so much less room for error because, you know, there are frequently, there are rooms where I will have 0 capacitor in a T5 the entire time, and I can still clear the entire field and permatank all the incoming damage. But it is expensive, right? I'm not saying that it's, the poverty list serves a very specific purpose of being extremely effective without a lot of investment. This is a bit more like you shouldn't even look at a fit like this unless your skills are there, you've got the money, you know, you got to be able to lose this fit and be able to eat that cost. I have lost a Gila as good as this due to just the fucking power going out, right? And that hurts. It's a hard pill to swallow. Get 16 probes so I don't have to reload them. That's a pain in the butt. Throw our drone damage, or drone link augments are out for now, and use that. And then yeah, look, my passive regen, we're at 154 HPS, 162,000 EHP, and then on the overheat we're at 186,000 EHP, and right at 999 DPS with my 2 drones. I think we lost some Valkyries to the last disconnect. I have 2 alt singing nesters at my Abyssal bookmark. Yeah, 100%, dude. Like, that's like I have a lot of respect for the fact that, like, you know how to prevent it, right? And that's part of what I'm getting at. Like, there's no, it doesn't make any sense for you to be flying a ship this expensive without having that redundancy set up. Because your biggest threat is going to be suicide gankers and a power outage, not the actual Abyss. But yeah, having 200k EHP on a cruiser. Oh, and this isn't even in the gamma, right? So just imagine when your shield HP goes up 70%. So
warp drive active.
Start scanning while I'm warping to 0 to the next system. But yeah, raw total HP before you even go into Abyss, 52,701 shields. It's ridiculous. Put a point on this thing and suspect bait on these DED sites. I don't think any DED runner is going to be expecting a 200k EHP Gila. Yeah, I mean, so after Vulcan Ash showed me the Abyss, if you don't count my Stormbringer death from being silly, or frigate deaths from running T6s with my friends, I have not lost this Gila once in the Abyss. It's happened once, like I said, to the power going out, but I've got over 600 successful T5s under my belt. I have no idea what this site is, Chuka's Diner, and I just tried to Google it and I couldn't find it. Right, and that, so I've flown this exact fit in low-sec doing DED sites, and I had a Loki and a Bifrost land on me, and instead of warping out, I figured, like, you know what, I'll just fight them, and my drones, like, one-shot the Bifrost. The Loki got up to me, and he was passive Loki, like, buffer Loki, and I got him to half shields in, like, a couple seconds, and he warped off, and then he private messaged me, what the fuck. I could scan these down, but I want to go run these two sites before other people get to them. Be a part of the Noob Force. Highsec Academy for new players who wish to earn ISK and learn the game. For training people who want to or don't want to join a nullsec wormhole space at a later point. I'm confused. For people that don't?
Warp drive active.
Who want to or don't want to? Oh, okay, so just everybody. You're here to learn the game, have a bunch of ISK, and have tons of fun. All are welcome, Alpha and Omega. What we offer is knowledge about the vast New Eden, achieving your goals. Okay. Noob Force. But yeah, Gitch, the ship is really just like the Swiss Army knife of Highsec. It can do everything. The Skila's probably made me over 100 bill. which is good because I don't make money off of any of my other ships. I'll buy a fucking Marauder to go run missions. I commit to that for like 2 days, make 300 mil. And it's like, okay, I guess I'll go run Abyss, I'm broke. Aw, someone's scanning them down now, so... Hopefully we're the first person here. Exactly. And I resonate with that because I was looking at Vargr and Paladin, you know, just crabbing, like in a wormhole. It looks really attractive from an earnings perspective, but high-end Abyss is much safer. It's one of the safest ways to make lots of money in the game, is even though it has this sort of like negative connotation of being very dangerous. That being said, it would be really fun to crab in a wormhole. I'm trying to convince, you know, a few people to kind of create like this vision I have in my head is kind of like a small tight-knit crew that is set up on like a 0.5 Highsec that is adjacent to lesser populated low-sec. Bonus points if there's a Highsec island somewhere inside of that low-sec. With the intent of like, okay, nobody's online, you're by yourself, you can go run Abyssals. But when we have people online and people are running DEDs, like, oh, you just got like some escalation out in low-sec, well, let's go run it together in our T3 cruisers and make like a quick little roam out of it, and then maybe we'll get some PvP too. So like the crux of the content being centered around DED sites and Abyssals as our format of making money, not mining, and then using that money to fund the corp activities, whatever that might be. But I think that the people that I tend to play with and the way that I like to play, what's really fun about the game is getting to play with my big toys, right? I want to play with my big toys. I want to play with my Marauder. I want to play with my Battleship. I want to like shoot fucking people. My favorite moment in the game was baiting suicide gankers and killing 16 Talwars with a Stormbringer before Concord showed up, and then killing the other 8 and getting, you know, 24 kills in 30 seconds. PvP that I can be like proud of, you know what I mean? Like I did that, not F1 monkey type of content. I like to fly blingy, I like to fly T3 cruisers. I need to look up this site again. So, what drops our loot? The Inner Sanctum does. And these cruisers all newt. This is the one that'll web you down. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stasis towers. Yeah, let's see if we can just work those down first. Yeah, 100%. Like, and you know, there's there's some like really juicy videos of guys doing solo PvP in a golem. You know, that's I like the idea of small gang, blingy. You know, I don't want to like get a CTA and go form up and go sit in a fleet and listen to all of the basement dwellers, you know, sit here and shoot the shit for an hour and a half only to stand down and say, oh, well, they didn't show up, and then, you know, meme about it on Reddit and Discord and ha ha ha, we're so great, like you guys didn't even show up. It's so boring, dude. It's so boring. There's another stasis tower. There's so many of them, dude. But yeah, no, this ship it's great. It's gonna take most shit to the face. Is that it? Let me double check. You can get C-type module drops from Inner Sanctum. Overseer, Mulzatah, Gatekeeper. We already killed that guy. That was it. We just didn't get any loot. So I mean, even still, it's been the most unlucky like trip I've had, where I only got loot off the first site. Very little escalations. I've been at it now for 3 hours. You know, I'm still made 220 mil. But all it's gonna take is like one good drop and it brings everything right back up again. So it's got a little bit of that volatility, you know, gambling feel to it. You get like the big payoff, 500 mil drop. Feels good. Blood watch. I do have to pull this one up again because I forget. We've got 2 pockets. We got webs, newts, scrams on the commander wave. And the commander is not a guaranteed spawn. looking at these triggers, it looks like the drones trigger the next waves, and then there's going to be a Corpatus militant commander that we have to kill, and then I think we can open the gate, similar to the Serpentis watch, where I don't think we're going to have to kill everything. I believe that after I kill this drone, it'll spawn our militant commander guy, and then after we kill him, we'll be able to take the gate. Yeah, that was the Monzada, exactly. It's one of the ones that drops really good loot when it does drop. But it is, and then this one is a watch, so this one has, it's very similar, where when it does drop loot, it's good, but the commander spawn on the next room is not a guarantee. Okay, yep, we've got the green text that says that our gate is unlocked here, so now you can go through. Just waiting on my drones.
Warp drive active.
Now we're in the second pocket. Looks like the cathedral is a trigger. I seem to remember that. And then the spy drones are triggers. Core militant supervisor spawns the last wave, which can potentially have our commander frigate. It's too far away. This drone will also be another trigger. It shows the cathedral as a trigger, so I'm gonna kill that. And then we're looking for the militant supervisor. So there's our militant supervisor. And after I kill him, I need to see if another wave spawns with our commander, who will be a dark blood something. One of my drones taking some damage. So I don't see our dark blood guy yet. Oh, there he is. So I think the structure might potentially trigger an escalation. I don't know if the site has an escalation or not.
A module has run out of charges.
can escalate to Medical Twilight. Take this off. It's a lot of rats. So yeah, getting the commander spawn is lucky. That's what we want, obviously. Go ahead and recall my drones. Got mid-grade amulet and plan. Oh yeah, amulet's the armor HP, so that'll sell. So a little 50 miller.
Drive active.
But then a benefit of doing these sites in this Gila is not having to do it slow, not having to worry about your triggers. You know, I can just pop all the triggers and blitz the missions. Also, like, Stormbringer is my favorite by far to run in these DEDs, but he's out in the island right now. I should have kept the Jackdaw and a Mar, because now I have a escalation 0.2 space. I guess I haven't looked at the system yet to see where it would be. Might just knock that out in the Stratios. Okay, because I've been doing Sancha hideaways, and I know those escalate. Let me look. Good looking out if that's the case.
Warp drive active.
It does show no escalations. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I don't see any escalation on the blood hideaways, and I guess that's a good point, as I'm kind of mixing up between blood and Sancha space right now. The Sancha hideaways escalate to a good site. Oh, I warped the wrong thing. So,
Warp drive active.
I guess my question is, do the commanders spawn more often at the blood hideaways? I mean, there's still that small chance of the commander spawn on a hideaway. Yeah, Blood Refuge escalates to the monastery, one that we just ran a minute ago, that's got the guaranteed commander spawn. Okay. Good to know. Oh, Gitch, I think I was just contemplating whether or not the blood hideaways spawn their commanders more often. I doubt it, but... Oh shit. Okay, and then where's our...
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Yeah, looking at the Blood Raider hidden hideaway on Eve Uni, it doesn't show any escalation, any commander spawn, any loot. But then again, I wonder how much of this is like something you need to take seriously anymore. I almost want to go. I gotta remember the name of the website. Hobo something. Because I was doing Abyssals the other day, low tier Abyssals, and getting like skin materials for the new Skinner program thing, and I think I was getting them from running missions too. But missions all up, just loot in general from rats is paying a lot more. Maybe I wasn't getting skin stuff from missions, but... I do wonder if any of this information is outdated.
A module has run out of charges. active.
Oh, I need to scan this signature. If I recall correctly, it's 0.8 and below will spawn the cruiser-sized DEDs.
Drive active. Drive active. active.
I think I'm gonna take a bit of a break. I appreciate everyone watching. Thanks for hanging out. It was good chatting with you too, Gitch. I learned some things. I'm currently trying to hit 500 subscribers. If luck serves me correctly, then I'll stream some more tonight, but I doubt it. I likely will be again tomorrow during the day. I'm on the East Coast here in the United States, so just give you a sense of my timeline and whatnot. So very likely we'll be streaming again tomorrow during the day. I'll try to tonight if I can. And again, thanks everyone for watching. Appreciate you coming by and having a chat.